In the ancient ruins of Baalbek, Lebanon, colossal stones weighing more than 1,000 tons each lie stacked in perfect alignment. How did these ancient builders, without cranes or heavy machinery, manage to move and place the stones? The scale is staggering. These stones are even heavier than those used in Egyptian pyramids. Could it be that these megalithic structures spread across the globe are evidence of an advanced ancient civilization now lost to history? Or is there something else going on that we've yet to fully understand? The mystery deepens the more we uncover. Baalbek, nestled in the Bekaa Valley of Lebanon, is a site that has puzzled archaeologists, engineers, and historians for centuries. This ancient complex is not just famous for its association with Roman grandeur, but for something far more extraordinary: its enormous stone blocks. These blocks, some weighing as much as 1,650 tons, challenge our understanding of what ancient civilizations were capable of in terms of engineering and construction techniques. The site is home to the Temple of Jupiter, one of the largest Roman temples ever built, but the foundations on which it stands predate the Romans by centuries. These foundations, known as the Trilithon, consist of 3 massive stone blocks, each weighing around 800 tons and measuring 64 feet in length, 14 feet in height, and 13 feet in width. To put this into perspective, one block from the Trilithon weighs as much as 130 African elephants or 2 Airbus A380s. The size and precision with which these stones were cut and placed remain unmatched by most modern engineering techniques. While the Temple of Jupiter was constructed during the Roman Empire around 27 BC to 14 AD, the massive stone foundations on which it stands was already in place long before the Romans set foot in Baalbek. The question of who built this megalithic foundation, and more importantly, how they managed to transport and position stones of such immense size, remains one of history's greatest mysteries. The Trilithon stones are positioned with such precision that they have left many experts baffled. Despite their gigantic size, these stones are so perfectly aligned, you can't fit a piece of paper between them. What's more intriguing is that no mortar was used in their construction. The weight of the stones alone keeps them in place, relying purely on gravity and the expert craftsmanship of their unknown builders. The Trilithon forms part of a larger retaining wall that supports the platform on which the Temple of Jupiter stands. While Roman engineers were known for their impressive construction skills, the sheer size of these stones is beyond even their capabilities. Roman texts make no mention of moving such enormous blocks, leading many to believe that the Romans simply built on top of an already existing foundation, taking advantage of an engineering marvel that had been created long before their time. If the Trilithon stones weren't enough to spark wonder, nearby lies another enigma: the stone of the pregnant woman. This massive monolith, found in the same quarry from which the Trilithon stones were sourced, was carved and prepared but never moved. The stone is 69 feet long, 16 feet wide, and 13 feet high, weighing over 1,000 tons, the equivalent of 3 fully loaded Boeing 747s. The name Stone of the Pregnant Woman comes from local folklore, which suggests that touching the stone would ensure a pregnant woman a safe and easy delivery. And the mystery doesn't stop there. In 2014, archaeologists discovered an even larger stone in the same quarry, partially buried beneath layers of sediment. This newly unearthed monolith measures an incredible 64 feet in length and weighs an estimated 1,650 tons, making it the largest known stone ever carved by human hands. To put that into context, moving this stone would be the equivalent of transporting about 280 elephants or 2.5 space shuttles. While these massive stones were expertly quarried and shaped, many of them, like the stone of the pregnant woman, were never transported to the temple complex. This raises a host of questions. Why were these stones left in the quarry? Did the builders run out of time or resources? Was there a sudden catastrophe that halted construction? Or did the technology or knowledge required to move these colossal stones disappear with a lost civilization? While Baalbek raises questions about ancient engineering, another site in Turkey suggests that our ancestors had advanced knowledge far earlier than we thought. Göbekli Tepe, discovered in the 1990s, is an ancient temple complex that dates back over 12,000 years, 7,000 years older than Stonehenge. It was built by hunter-gatherers long before humans were thought to have developed agriculture, cities, or the ability to organize large-scale construction. The site consists of massive stone pillars arranged in circles, with the tallest standing over 16 feet high and weighing up to 50 tons. These pillars are covered in intricate carvings of animals, which seem to hold religious or symbolic significance. But here's the twist. These hunter-gatherers somehow managed to move and place these massive stones without the use of wheels, metal tools, or advanced technology. The most perplexing thing about Göbekli Tepe is not just its size, but its purpose. Why did early humans go to such lengths to build this site? What was it for? Some researchers believe it was a religious or ceremonial center, but others suggest it might have been used for astronomical observations, tracking the movements of stars and planets. The sophistication of the site challenges everything we thought we knew about early human societies. The more we look at ancient structures like Baalbek and Göbekli Tepe, the more we begin to see a pattern. Across the globe, from Egypt to Peru to Turkey, we find massive megalithic structures that share similar construction techniques. In Peru, at the ruins of Sacsayhuamán near Cusco, enormous stone blocks, some weighing over 200 tons, fit together with such precision that you can't slide a piece of paper between them. The stones are cut at odd angles, yet they fit perfectly, as if they were molded like clay. But how were these stones moved? The quarries for some of the stones at Sacsayhuamán are over 20 miles away from the site, across rugged mountain terrain. There are no clear answers. Like Baalbek, Sacsayhuamán raises the possibility that ancient civilizations might have had access to technologies that have since been lost. There are even stranger examples, like the Kaimanawa Wall in New Zealand, which some believe to be man-made despite being thousands of miles from any known ancient civilization. This structure consists of precisely cut stone blocks arranged in a way that resemble ancient megalithic construction, yet mainstream archaeology has no explanation for it. Could it be the remnant of a forgotten civilization that existed long before humans were supposed to have settled in the region? One of the most striking features of many ancient structures is their alignment with celestial bodies. The Great Pyramids of Giza are aligned almost perfectly with the Orion constellation, and many researchers believe that the Egyptians intentionally designed the pyramids to mirror the stars. The ancient Egyptians associated Orion with the god Osiris, who represented the afterlife, rebirth, and the cycles of nature. In Ireland, Newgrange, a prehistoric tomb built over 5,000 years ago, is aligned with the winter solstice. Every year, on the shortest day, sunlight floods through a narrow passage to illuminate the inner chamber, a feat of astronomical precision. This alignment suggests that the builders had a deep understanding of the movements of the sun and stars. At Göbekli Tepe, there are also signs that the site might have been used to track celestial events. Some researchers believe the carvings on the pillars represent constellations, and that the temple was aligned to observe the stars. The fact that these sites, built thousands of miles apart, all exhibit an advanced understanding of astronomy raises a tantalizing question. Were these ancient cultures more connected than we think? One theory that attempts to explain the sudden rise and fall of these ancient civilizations is the idea of a global cataclysm. Around 12,800 years ago, the Earth experienced a dramatic climate event known as the Younger Dryas, which brought about rapid cooling and widespread environmental changes. Some scientists believe this event may have been caused by a comet impact or a massive volcanic eruption. This cataclysm could have wiped out an advanced civilization, leaving behind only scattered remnants like Baalbek, Göbekli Tepe, and other megalithic structures. If the theory is true, it would mean that the timeline of human history is much longer and more complex than we've been led to believe. Perhaps the knowledge and technology used to build these ancient wonders were passed down by survivors of this lost civilization before being forgotten over time. If these ancient sites were built by advanced civilizations, what kind of technologies might they have had? Some researchers have speculated that ancient builders may have used advanced forms of leverage or even anti-gravity technology to move massive stone blocks. This might sound like science fiction, but there are many examples throughout history of technology being lost or forgotten. For instance, the Roman Empire had access to advanced construction techniques such as the use of concrete that were lost for centuries after the fall of Rome. It wasn't until the modern era that we rediscovered how to make concrete as strong as what the Romans used. Could the same thing have happened with the technology used to build megalithic structures? There's also the possibility that ancient civilizations used simple but highly effective machines, such as levers, pulleys, and ramps to move heavy stones. Some researchers suggest that ancient builders may have used wooden cranes or sledges lubricated with olive oil to reduce friction. Others propose that massive earth ramps were built to drag the stones into place. But even with these theories, it's hard to explain how such massive stones were moved with the precision we see today. One of the most intriguing aspects of these ancient structures is the possibility of a shared knowledge that spanned continents. Could ancient civilizations have been more connected than we think? Some researchers believe that knowledge of construction techniques, astronomy, and engineering was passed between different cultures, either through direct contact or through a now lost global network of trade and communication. This theory is supported by the fact that similar construction techniques are found in sites as far apart as Baalbek, Sacsayhuamán, and the pyramids of Egypt. In each of these places, we see the use of massive stone blocks, precise stone cutting, and celestial alignments. Was there an ancient civilization that shared this knowledge with the world before disappearing? Or were these techniques developed independently by different cultures? Despite advances in technology and archaeology, we are still far from understanding the full scope of these ancient mysteries. Baalbek, Göbekli Tepe, the Great Pyramids, and the ruins of Peru all challenge our understanding of what early human civilizations were capable of. Could it be that we are missing a crucial piece of the puzzle? Some researchers continue to argue that mainstream archaeology is too quick to dismiss alternative theories. They believe that the answers to these mysteries might lie in areas that have been overlooked or dismissed by traditional historians. Others suggest that we need to rethink our understanding of human history entirely. One thing is clear: these ancient structures continue to captivate our imaginations and challenge our perceptions of the past. As we continue to discover new sites and learn more about the ancient world, the mystery only deepens. Could there be more hidden structures waiting to be found? And if so, what secrets do they hold? The world is full of ancient mysteries that defy explanation. As we uncover more about these sites, the questions only multiply. What kind of knowledge did ancient civilizations possess, and what happened to them? If you enjoyed exploring these ancient mysteries with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the unknown.